One-stop shop for utility and cargo trailers, heavy-duty dump and gooseneck trailers, portable buildings, cabins, decks, porches, fences, carports, and site-built metal shops. Located at Exit 7 in Carencro or at deltatrailersales.com.
You thinking trailers? Think Tibbs. Whether you tug it, tow it, or transport it, Tibbs Trailers is your headquarters for enclosed, flatbed, and hydraulic trailers. You won't find a better selection or a better price than right here. We've got the experts to repair or customize your trailer so it'll be ready for whatever you pull it through. Why would you go anywhere else when you can go to Tibbs Trailers? Now we're talking trailers.
Between Scott and Doosan.
Looking for a spotless workplace? Variety Janitorial Services is your go-to. For office cleaning to stripping and floor waxing and carpet cleaning, your commercial space will look its best. Their reputation for perfection has grown throughout the entire Acadiana community. They deliver top-notch service with a commitment to excellence. Daily, weekly, or deep cleaning, trust the experts. Visit varietyjan.com today or call 337-298-8704 for a free quote. Variety Janitorial Services. We clean, you shine.
Live from Upper Lafayette, this is ESPN 1037 KLWB Carencro Lafayette, KLCJ-FM Oak Grove Lake Charles 1041, a Delta Media station.
This game isn't fun. This game is a war.
It's time for the 2-minute drill.
Hurry it up, hurry it up, hurry it up.
Powered by B1 Bank. Visit b1bank.com to find a location near you.
Come on, let's go, you guys. Get in here, we gotta go fast now.
The Houston Astros evened up their series with the Pittsburgh Pirates last night with an 11-9 win at Daikin Park. Former Tiger Paul Skeens went 4 2/3, giving up 3 runs on 7 hits with 7 strikeouts, while former Raging Cajun Spencer Arrighetti went 4 innings, giving up 6 hits and 4 runs by way of a grand slam. Game 3 of the series will be tonight, and it'll be Jared Jones on the mound for the Pirates versus Kaiwei Ting for the Astros. First pitch is at 7:10 p.m., and you can listen to it right here on ESPN 1037 Lafayette and 1041 Lake Charles. The New York Knicks extended their postseason winning streak to 12 games with a 105-95 victory over the San Antonio Spurs in Game 1 of the NBA Finals last night. Jalen Brunson led the way for New York, finishing the night with 30 points, with 13 coming in the fourth quarter alone. Game 2 of the NBA Finals will be Friday night in San Antonio with tip-off at 7:30 p.m. The Texas Longhorns took Game 1 of the Women's College World Series Championship Series 7-3 last night over Texas Tech. Now Texas sits just 1 game away from repeating as champions and becoming the 3rd program since 2010 to win back-to-back titles in softball. Game 2 will be tonight, and it's set for 7 p.m. in Oklahoma City. Game 2 of the Stanley Cup Finals will get underway tonight from the Lenovo Center in Raleigh, North Carolina. The Golden Knights lead the series 1-0, and puck drop is at 7 p.m. tonight. And in the PGA, the Memorial Tournament gets underway today from Muirfield Village Golf Club in Dublin, Ohio. I'm Blake Purser, and you're listening to ESPN 1037 Lafayette and 1041 Lake Charles. Your home for the LSU Tigers and the Houston Astros.
The 2-minute drill has been powered by B1 Bank. Visit b1bank.com to find a location near you. Dynamic duos are nothing new to Louisiana sports fans. Breeze and Colston, Burrow and Chase. And here in Acadiana, we have our very own dynamic duo.
You're beautiful.
It's the big, bald, bearded, and beautiful one, Raymond Parch III.
I'm sexy and I know it.
And the man with the best head of hair in sports talk radio in Louisiana and Mississippi, James Meche. Here is RP3 and Meche on ESPN 1037 Lafayette and 1041 Lake Charles, Southwest Louisiana's sports station.
Good day to you and yours. Welcome into a Thursday edition of RP3 and Meche, as we're broadcasting live from inside the Beal & Hebert studios here in Upper Lafayette. Beal & Hebert, Acadiana's hometown lawyers. I'm the big, bald, beautiful one, Raymond Parch III, better known as RP3. I'm joined inside the studios by the producer extraordinaire, the man with the best trash stash in sports media in the states of Louisiana, Mississippi, and a former LAB award winner, but soon to be Yogurt U champion, James Meche.
I'd also like to win another LAB.
Yeah, you do. Just start stacking them up. It's what you do. It's what you do. It's what you do. We got a good show lined up for you today as we get closer and closer to the weekend. Coming up in hour number 2, we have not one but 2 guests for you. We'll talk all things Major League Baseball with Bob Nightingale. We're going to talk Stros, Yankees, Braves, and more with our friend from the USA Today Network. We're also going to talk New Orleans Saints, New Orleans Pelicans with Les East at 12:35. So 2 guests, Bob Nightingale, USA Today Talk MLB at 12, and then Les East of CrescentCitySports.com joining us at 12:30 to talk Saints and Pels. We'll also talk about Texas versus Texas Tech in the National Championship Series for softball. We'll dive into the Houston Astros. It was supposed to be a pitcher's duel, and it ended up being a crazy, bizarre, a lot of runs scored game.
I feel like that normally happens, though. You know what I mean?
That's fair.
Like when we have an anticipation of something happening. For example, a pitcher's duel where we think the game is going to end like 2-1. We have the complete opposite, like last night, where there was 20 total runs scored, and neither pitcher got through 5 innings.
No, it was
it was quite the opposite of what we anticipated. And it feels like that happens a lot in sports, where if we have a high anticipation of something happening, the complete opposite ends up happening.
Correct. So we're going to dive into that as well. We're also going to take some time today to dive into something that I just want you to, know about. And obviously, it's the Memorial Tournament, the PGA Tour stop. That's Jack's Tour tournament there in Ohio. By the way, J.J. Spawn leads that early on at 4 under. Keegan Bradley tied for second with Tommy Fleetwood
4
at
under
3
already?
under. Already. Looks like some low scores are going to be at the Memorial this weekend. It's a great tournament. It's Jack's tournament there in Dublin, Ohio. We'll give you updates of that throughout today's game. Today's show, rather. And we're also going to take some time to talk about what's it going to cost for the Saints to bring Chris Olave back, because we've had a couple of contracts happen in the last day or so that may give you pause on what the number's going to need to be for the Saints to bring back Chris Olave on that new deal. So some guys are getting paid, and that's going to have a direct impact on the negotiations between the Saints and Olave. So we'll dive into that as well. We have our poll question of the day, which we'll be unveiling in a little while. But right now, let's go ahead and get things started. It's time for today's special.
The fellas can't help with your lunch plans, but they can serve up the top stories of the day in bite-sized pieces. Time to order up today's specials here on RP3 and Meche, presented by Southwest Volkswagen, located at 6184 Johnston Street. Order up.
The special for today is the NBA Finals, Game 1. And if I'm being honest, this kind of played out the way we thought it was going to. The Knicks had some rust early on. First quarter, they were sluggish. Jalen Brunson gets banged up a little bit there in the first half, and you go, uh-oh. And all the Knicks fans start collectively, hold their breath going, oh, no, oh, no, oh, no. San Antonio's in control. The place is electric. They all made sure to wear their color-coordinated shirts. For the Bisection. Their old school color scheme back in the day.
It's pretty sick.
It is.
It's pretty sick.
And they were in control. New York flips it a little bit there in the second, but this still is San Antonio Spurs leading at the half. And then the second half came. And then the Knicks made all the adjustments. And they took control there in the third, and they never let go of that control really in the fourth. Brunson drops 30. Knicks finish on an 11-0 run, and they steal Game 1 from the Spurs, 105-95. That was your game to win if you were San Antonio at home. And you had a chance to do the same thing that you did to Oklahoma City where you stole game one at their place. You were at home. You had your home crowd with you. And you let the Knicks come into your house and take game one. After last night's game, and I know it's game one, watching last night's game, watching how game one ended, I feel even more confident in my pick of Knicks in 6, and so much so that I regret not picking them in 5. And there's a couple of reasons why. They frustrated Wemby. They did not make it easy for him at all. And Brunson's going to get the story because of the 30 points. And Wemby still had 26 points and 12 rebounds. He still gave you the double-double. That's what I said. I said Wemby's probably going to get you 25 and 15 a night.
He was pretty close last night.
And the Knicks are okay with that. Because not only did they frustrate Wemby and not let him go off, no one else helped. Not really. And the Knicks and their depth of veteran depth showed up in a big way. Josh Hart was a huge reason why they won that game last night. A huge reason. 15 rebounds, 13 of them defensively. One of the shortest guys on the court is leading the teams in defensive rebounding. Because I use a cliche, he has that motor.
He has heart.
Yeah, it's even better. But he also had 6 assists and 0 turnovers in 27 minutes, by the way.
Yeah, and he had 4 steals.
If this is what you're going to see from the Knicks, I have a hard time believing San Antonio can win this series because you even got offensive production from OG. Like, we were thinking he's just going to be a defensive guy, and he dropped 17 for them.
Well, he also woke up in the fourth quarter. He had like 11 of his 17 came in the fourth.
You got a very efficient Karl Anthony Towns last night.
Mm-hmm.
That kind of got lost in the shuffle of game one. 18 points, but it was on 7 of 15 shooting, James. He had 12 rebounds, 4 assists. Like, the OG points are just lagniappe, right? He just woke up. But you got ultra-efficient Cat. You got Josh Hart. He only gave you 3 points, but he did all the dirty work, just like he's done his entire career. Just like he did in New Orleans, by the way.
I think we need to call him the plumber because he's doing the dirty work.
Yeah. You only got 9 points out of Mikal Bridges. He didn't do barely anything for you last night. And you still won by 10. Brunson goes off for the 30. But you know what? You got good minutes out of Mitchell Robinson. Not a lot of offensive production, but he got you 6 boards.
Which is what you're looking for from him, is defense from that side.
Landry gave you 13. Former New Orleans Pelican, Jose Alvarado, came off the bench, played 11 minutes for you, gave you 7 points and 4 rebounds. McBride gave you 6 points off the bench. And they only used 5 guys off the bench last night. And the thing that stands out to me about this is that they didn't win the rebounding battle, but it felt like they did. Does that make any sense?
The rebounds came at the most opportune time for the Knicks.
Yes. San Antonio had more rebounds in this game, but the Knicks had more timely rebounds.
It meant more.
Correct. And so, once again, even Brunson getting banged up did not matter. He went out there. He set the tone, 30 points. A wildly efficient Karl Anthony Towns. Josh Hart did all the dirty work. You got contributions off the bench, both defensively on the boards and offensively from your bench players. And you look at the Spurs. And Wemby gave you 26 and 12. He also had 6 turnovers, which was huge.
Including the one off his foot late.
Brutal.
Yeah. That basically sealed it.
De'Aaron Fox gave you nothing, 7 points. Vassell gave you 9 points. That's not enough. 2 of your starters scored in single digits. You can't do that against the Knicks. You get 17 from Castle. That's great. Harper gave you 16 off the bench, but that was it. Who else is going to step up for this team? Julian gave you 16. Okay. But if Wemby's going to be held in the mid to low 20s, De'Aaron Fox, Vassell, Harrison Barnes, other guys, Cornette, those guys are going to have to step up and give you buckets, and they didn't do that last night. And credit the Knicks, because once they seized control of this game in the third quarter, San Antonio made a run, cut it down a couple times, right? My wife was like, ooh, here comes the Spurs. And I go, and then she got up to use the bathroom. She came back. She goes, it's a 6-point game again. I said, I know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. There were a few things that I noticed last night. When we were previewing the last couple of days for this series, we were trying to figure out how were the Knicks going to guard Wemby. That was the big-time question mark.
Correct.
We were trying to throw some alternates instead of maybe Cat, because Cat isn't necessarily the greatest defensive player at center. So it maybe could have been a mixture of different guys, whether it was OG, maybe they throw Josh Hart on him every once in a while, Spider Monkey, a.k.a. Mikal Bridges, and then when Mitchell Robinson comes off the bench, he's a center, so it works there. And then you just don't have too much Cat. But really, it was position for position guarded each other. The guards guarded the guards, the forwards and the wings guarded the forwards and the wings, and the centers guarded the centers. For the majority of the time, it was actually Cat who was guarding Wemby and did a really good job. It didn't matter, and it worked a lot, and that's also why there was more open space for Josh to get those rebounds. But not only that,
I was surprised how well Cat did last night.
Oh yeah, it was actually really impressive to see what he did defensively. But also, it was shocking how easy it was for Cat off the dribble from behind the three-point line to get to the paint and just get a layup. It's not like he had to bump him and maybe kind of back him down and then go for a fadeaway or go for a pump fake and then go the other. No, he just beat him off the dribble, got past him, and went up for the layup. And that happened to both Cornette and Wemby quite a few times throughout the night. So that was an interesting development to see in that game.
And that's one of the things that gave me pause, where I was like, uh-oh. Like, maybe this is a very favorable matchup for the Knicks. Because it didn't seem to be a struggle for them to get buckets.
Especially when you can put your other defensive guys like Bridges, like OG, like Hart.
They had OG,
on those other
Hart,
guards.
and Bridges out there for a lot of minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And it didn't impact them offensively.
No.
So,
even when Brunson was out a couple of times throughout this game, because he got injured in the first quarter.
Correct.
Didn't come back till about midway through the second. Then he had a couple of breaks between the third and the fourth quarter as well. And then for the final 7 minutes, he was out there. But, I mean, just Brunson being able to step up in clutch moments in that ball game, especially on that last shot that he hit, where, remember, he's left-handed, but there's a lot of times where he likes to drive right. And even when he goes for those little fadeaways or jump shots or even the hook shots or floaters, even the one last night where he bumps into Vassell. It was either Vassell or Castle. Bumps into him, goes to the side, and not only is it a high-arcing shot, it makes it, but it doesn't even hit the rim, Ray. That's how impressive that shot was last night, in a clutch shot for the Knicks and them getting that Game 1 win over the Spurs. Also, looking at it last night, we bring up Fox, and I think his ankle, the injury that he's had, has definitely affected him. But even then, I just have not been impressed at all with what he's done. He was doing a lot of driving kicks and got it to Champagnie a lot last night for corner threes, because Champagnie at the half was 5 for 6 from three-point range. But then the whole second half, that driving kick was not really there anymore. The Knicks made that adjustment, and Champagnie still finished with a respectable 5 for 10 from behind the arc. But once again, in the second half, he went 0 for 4. And then there was a couple of times where Fox went for the driving kick, and it either ended up being like a tipped pass or even a turnover itself. So a big part of that first half offense for the Spurs wasn't necessarily there, and they kind of forced Wembanyama to take shots that maybe he wasn't necessarily in rhythm for, because they didn't let him get into the paint as often. He had to keep selling more for jump shots, and because Cat was on him instead of a guy that's like maybe 6'5" or 6'6", No, you had a 7-foot cat on Wemby that was playing good defense and was forcing him into some tough shots. And that's why you ended up also him finishing with a very inefficient 6 for 21. He still got to his 26 points, but the fact that it took 21 shots to get to that point and then just really inefficient shooting from a bunch of guys in that second half, that helped the Knicks go on that. I believe it was a 14-2 run late in that third quarter to give them the momentum and then eventually outscore the Spurs by 10, which is exactly how much they won by, because at the end of the third, it was a tie ball game.
The Knicks are in control. They take game one on the road. That's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to at least win one of two, right, before going back home. The Garden is going to be ridiculous. But if they can win game two tomorrow night, Friday, oh, Cat, it could be a sweep.
It will be looking rough.
It will be looking rough for San Antonio. But it's looked rough for San Antonio before, right? When they lost game 5 to Oklahoma City, we're like, there's no way they're winning game 6 and 7. And they found a way against the defending champs. So they're tough. They're mentally tough, but they're going to have to respond in a big way in game 2. We got to take a timeout. When we come back, we'll unveil our poll question of the day right here on RP3 and Meche.
Today's specials here on RP3 and Meche, presented by Southwest Volkswagen, located at 6184 Johnston Street.
Southwest Volkswagen, it's where car buying is made easy. Upfront everyday pricing and transparency from start to finish. Massive inventory of both new and used cars. And when I'm saying used cars, I mean World Auto certified pre-owned cars and SUVs. Southwest Volkswagen has the great selection that you and your family have been looking for. They're proud to be Acadiana's only Volkswagen dealership, and they're just a short drive from Lake Charles as well. Just hop on I-10, make your way over. You will not regret it. Once again, buying your next car feels simple at Southwest Volkswagen right here in Lafayette. Go visit them today at 6184 Johnston Street right here in Lafayette.
From Tiger Stadium to the Texas state line, ESPN 1037 Lafayette and 1041 Lake Charles is your home for live and local sports talk in Southwest Louisiana. We're your official home for the LSU Tigers and Houston Astros. ESPN 1037 Lafayette and 1041 Lake Charles also tackles the latest involving the Louisiana Raging Cajuns, McNeese Cowboys, and New Orleans Saints. So keep it locked right here. ESPN 1037 Lafayette and 1041 Lake Charles, Southwest Louisiana's sports station.
Looking for a great midweek treat? Come to Mezcal Mexican Restaurant every Wednesday and Thursday and enjoy their sizzling fajita special. $13.99 plus tax all day long. Don't forget all day 2-for-1 margaritas. Are you planning a large party? Let Mezcal handle it. Call 337-484-3298 and Mezcal will take care of everything. That's a fajita special, $13.99 plus tax all day Wednesday and Thursday at Mezcal Mexican Restaurant, 3546 Ambassador Caffrey, next to Rooms to Go. Come taste the flavor of Mezcal.
Misfits Dine and Drink, a destination restaurant in Broussard, is constantly evolving. Dine in for great food and a great atmosphere. Whether it's lunch, dinner, or brunch on Saturday or Sunday, stop in to enjoy a handmade gourmet pizza or one of their delicious pastas. Take a sip of their new and seasonal craft cocktails and mocktails. And don't forget dessert. Try the birthday cake bread pudding. Whether it's new menu items or old favorites, come to Misfits for a great food experience. It's classic Italian with a modern twist. Misfits Dine and Drink, 200 Heritage Parkway off Highway 90 in Broussard.
Oh, look who's here.
Everybody Loves Raymond is on MeTV.
Who told you that?
Raymond!
America's #1 classic TV network.
Nothing even comes close.
Enjoy 2 back-to-back episodes every weeknight.
We're doing it twice.
Watch Everybody Loves Raymond.
Yeah, it's all about you, Raymond.
Weeknights starting at 8 on MeTV.
Watch MeTV Acadiana on KLWB, over the air on channel 50.1. Check your local cable listings for the channel in your area.
Hi, I'm Nancy Landry. No matter what part of our great state you call home, Louisiana's elections are an important part of who we are. In 2026, closed party primaries will change how some of those elections happen, so you'll want to know what to do. Keeping your registration current ensures you'll get the right party-based ballot. Remember, this change only applies to certain offices.
To learn more, visit govote.com or download the GoVote app.
Paid for by the Louisiana Secretary of State's office.
We are Lions International,
the world's largest service organization. We are volunteers committed to strengthening our communities and supporting those in need, one act of kindness at a time. For more than a century, Lions have been serving a world in need, right here in our community and around the world. Lions International makes the impossible possible. This is your invitation to join us, because the only thing missing from our mission to make a difference is you. Visit lionsclubs.org to find a local Lions Club near you.
This is ESPN 1037 Lafayette and 1041 Lake Charles, broadcasting live from the Beal and Hebert studios in Upper Lafayette. Beal and Hebert, Acadiana's hometown lawyers. Back to more of Southwest Louisiana's sports station.
An update from the first round of the Memorial. That's Jack Nicklaus's tournament there in Dublin, Ohio. J.J. Spawn still leads. He's tied atop the leaderboard at 4 under through 10 holes. He's tied with Tommy Fleetwood, who's right behind him, through 9 holes. You also have some bigger names. Keegan Bradley tied for 4th at 2 under. Former LSU All-American Sam Burns tied for 3rd as well with Keegan, as is former major champion Wyndham Clark. Justin Rose, Jordan Spieth. That's one of Ralph's favorite golfers. He's not that far behind. He shot a 1 under 71 today. That's tied for 11th. And you still have like Adam Scott, Matsuzama, Rory. They're all tied for 11th as well. So we'll keep giving you updates on one of the better and nicer tournaments on the PGA Tour. That's the Memorial there at in Dublin, Ohio. That's Jack's tournament. So we'll keep giving you updates there. And that leads us somewhat to our poll question of the day, Mr. Meche.
Absolutely. We've now gotten into summertime, so we got to get a little creative with these poll questions.
Oh, summertime.
So we asked you on Facebook and on X, if you had the choice to go pro in a sport, which one would you choose? I mean, there's 200 technical sports out there. So there's a lot of options, but especially here in the States, a lot of them are pretty obscure. But the main ones that we gave were football, basketball, baseball, or simply other.
And other could be soccer, golf,
lacrosse, I guess,
tennis,
pickleball,
ultimate frisbee.
Oh, ultimate frisbee.
There we go.
There you go.
Any of those. For me, this is a very, very simple question. It's baseball. The sport I wanted to play as a child was baseball. The sport I dreamed about playing as a grown-up was baseball. It's always going to be baseball. Always. Football, first of all, my career won't last that long. Average career of an NFL player is 3 years. Now, you have some that play longer, but even a decade, that's all you're playing. I can play baseball for 20 years, Kat. 20. If I'm good enough, I can play for 20. So
you also don't have to be the most athletic to go out there.
That's correct. I can be shaped like Bob Horner, the late
we've
great.
We've seen some pretty big boys go out there and play baseball.
We've seen some boys out there.
Now their speed is 20 out of 100, but that's fine.
And of the sports, I've always felt, whether I played it growing up through, community sports or through school, the one that you feel like you're the most bonded with the other players was always baseball. More so than football. I always found like football was a little bit more cliquish in a bigger team area. Baseball, it's like, hey, we're all in this together. Now, that could be because you play more games.
You play every day.
You play essentially every day, which I love. And people go, well, that's a grind. I'm a grinder. Like anyone that knows me knows I like having a lot on my plate in doing a lot. I like to work. So that naturally lends me to I would be baseball. And I get to travel, which I like to do anyway. I like being on a bus. I don't care. Bus, train, car, airplane, and it doesn't matter to me. But baseball is the obvious. Now, golf is interesting. My only problem with golf as a professional golfer, because many of you would say, well, that's the dream because you get the huge paychecks for even being mediocre. right? Go to a tournament, barely make the cut. I get paid like $35,000 to finish tied for 80th. That's not a bad day, right? That's not a bad day at the office. I don't love country club environments. It's not my thing. Also, if you know me, that's not really my thing. I love the game of golf, but
too bougie for you.
Sometimes it's a little too bougie, and sometimes it's a little too elitist for me. Like, Now, if you're a professional player, you're probably not going to feel that more so. So that's made me kind of, but I would probably say baseball, clearly my number one. And then I would probably pick golf because you have to practice all the time to keep your game sharp, but you're traveling as well, and you get to be outside, and you get to play golf, and you'll get paid to even play golf poorly. So that's how I would vote.
It's pretty fair.
Kat, there's a lot of guys. I'm not going to name names. I'm not going to do that today. But in my career, I've done stories on guys that never won tournaments that have the nicest house you've ever seen in your entire life because of sponsorship money and just making, $35,000 here, $45,000 here at tournaments and never winning a tournament once. Yet they were millionaires. So, just saying. I'm not going to name names, but you can be a professional mediocre golfer and be a millionaire.
It'd be pretty nice.
Just saying.
It's like, how many tournament wins do you have?
How did you vote? Did you vote other because obviously Yogurt You? That would be.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
No? You probably chose basketball, didn't you?
No, I would go football.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, it could be because all that money wide receivers are getting.
I was going to say, well, especially wide receiver is my favorite position, as y'all should probably know at this point. And I remember my 1 year of playing tackle football. Was it a grind to get used to that type of physicality and trying to hit and trying to tackle, especially when you're like, well, I'm not supposed to be the one tackling because I'm a wide receiver. I'm supposed to be catching the ball and avoid tackles.
Oh, dude.
But especially, and also sometimes because it was a small team, they were like, hey, James, you're going to go out there and play edge rusher for this practice. I'm like, Kat, I'm 4'5", 80 pounds. What are we talking about?
Use your speed.
Especially when I was in 8th grade at that point.
Use your speed and your quickness. Be a disruptor.
Didn't help when I was going against 6'1" guys that were pretty much just as fast as me and obviously a lot stronger. It's I don't know what work are these guys getting? This is a waste of time.
Yeah, when I played football, I would have seen that as an opportunity to absolutely maul you because I played line even in middle school when I was skinny because I was taller and I had what one of my coaches described as a Parks, you got a bit of a mean streak. I go, yeah, coach. And they love guys that got mean streaks in them. So I would have seen you line up, and I'd be like, I'm going to
mouse in the house.
I'm going to pin him to the ground, and then I'm going to step on him when I get up.
You're just going to pancake me every time.
Every time.
I was going to say, because to be fair, I remember when I was in intramural at UL for the 2 years, I sometimes played a little bit of secondary since we would play both sides, but I did have a lot of fun trying to chase the quarterback at edge rusher, especially since I didn't have to do a swim move or try to bull rush whoever was playing quote unquote offensive line since the offensive linemen didn't even get to block anyway with their hands. But that was fun. But no, I would choose football. I would choose football. Basketball would be fun, but that different type of grind where it's 3 games a week. And you're traveling basically every single day as well.
It's a little much.
That's a little much.
It's a little
traveling's fun, but not every day.
It's a little much. Keep voting on the poll question of the day. Keep leaving your comments on there, and we'll make sure to share them throughout today's show. When we come back, we mentioned it a little bit there. The amount of money that's being thrown out to wide receivers who are not as good as Chris Olave. How much is that going to impact the Saints being able to bring him back on that new contract? We'll dive into that next.
This is RP3 and Meche live on ESPN 1037 Lafayette and 1041 Lake Charles, Southwest Louisiana's sports station.
Delta Media is hiring immediately for a media account executive, and this could be the career change that you've been looking for. Our fast-paced radio, television, and digital media company is looking for a confident people person who enjoys building relationships with local businesses to help them grow. This is perfect for someone who's looking for a midlife career change, a fresh start, or just a new challenge with unlimited earning potential. Sales experience is preferred but not required. We will teach, train, and support the right person. What matters most is confidence, communication skills, and personality, and the ability to connect with people. If you're ready to leave that boring job behind and start an exciting new career, we'd love to talk with you today. Email John Cochran at jcochran@deltamediacorp.com and let's start your new career today. Delta Media Corp is an equal opportunity employer.
This game isn't fun. This game is a war.
It's time for the 2-minute drill.
Hurry it up, hurry it up, hurry it up.
Powered by B1 Bank. Visit b1bank.com to find a location near you.
Come on, let's go, you guys. Get in here, we gotta go fast now.
The Houston Astros evened up their series with the Pittsburgh Pirates last night with an 11-9 win at Daikin Park. Former Tiger Paul Skeens went 4 2/3, giving up 3 runs on 7 hits with 7 strikeouts, while former Raging Cajun Spencer Arrighetti went 4 innings, giving up 6 hits and 4 runs by way of a grand slam. Game 3 of the series will be tonight, and it'll be Jared Jones on the mound for the Pirates versus Kaiwei Ting for the Astros. First pitch is at 7:10 p.m., and you can listen to it right here on ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles. The New York Knicks extended their postseason winning streak to 12 games with a 105-95 victory over the San Antonio Spurs in Game 1 of the NBA Finals last night. Jalen Brunson led the way for New York, finishing the night with 30 points, with 13 coming in the fourth quarter alone. Game 2 of the NBA Finals will be Friday night in San Antonio with tip-off at 7:30 p.m. The Texas Longhorns took Game 1 of the Women's College World Series Championship Series 7-3 last night over Texas Tech. Now Texas sits just 1 game away from repeating as champions and becoming the 3rd program since 2010 to win back-to-back titles in softball. Game 2 will be tonight, and it's set for 7 p.m. in Oklahoma City. Game 2 of the Stanley Cup Finals will get underway tonight from the Lenovo Center in Raleigh, North Carolina. The Golden Knights lead the series 1-0, and puck drop is at 7 p.m. tonight. And in the PGA, the Memorial Tournament gets underway today from Muirfield Village Golf Club in Dublin, Ohio. I'm Blake Persher, and you're listening to ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles. Your home for the LSU Tigers and the Houston Astros.
The 2-minute drill has been powered by B1 Bank. Visit b1bank.com to find a location near you. ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles is the proud winner of 4 2026 LAB Prestige Awards, including Best Use of Digital Media, Foot's Friday Fury, Best Live On-Site Remote for our Super Bowl Radio Road coverage, Best Promotion for our No Shave November initiative, and Radio Young Professional of the Year for Dawson Iserloh. We're proud of being Southwest Louisiana's sports station and are humbled to be recognized by the Louisiana Association of Broadcasters.
Looking for your next firearm? Come visit Louisiana Gun Shop in Broussard. We've got financing options, 12 months same as cash, plus layaways up to 90 days. With a wide selection of new and used guns, we've got something for every budget, big or small. Have an old gun collecting dust? Trade it in or turn it into cash. Need parts? We've got the largest selection of AR-15 components in the area, from springs to grips and buttstocks. Explore our ever-changing used inventory online at LouisianaGunShop.com. Louisiana Gun Shop, your one-stop shop for firearms and more.
New tax resolution firms are popping up every day with high-paid celebrity endorsers advertising ridiculous claims in their TV ads. That's why they have the tiny, unreadable disclaimers at the bottom of the screen. Hi, this is Kerry Bryson with the Bryson Law Firm. Our ads never have those ridiculous, fast-talking, tiny disclaimers at the end because, simply put, there are no guarantees when it comes to the IRS and wiping out tax bills. And we don't make promises we can't keep. Of course, there are ways the Bryson Law Firm can help resolve your tax debt, but no company can guarantee it will eliminate it. This is why their clients call the Bryson Law Firm when those promises don't pan out. If you have tax problems, you have legal problems. Call the Bryson Law Firm. Our headquarters are in Lafayette, and we have offices statewide. Or visit BrysonLawFirm.com to schedule your free consultation with your local tax resolution law firm, the Bryson Law Firm. LSBA filing number LA2518447.
Did you know you can get great tasting Clear Springs artesian water delivered to your office or your doorstep at home? Clear Springs is 100% local with their own bottling facility at the world-famous Kentwood Aquifer, no chemicals added. just pure Kentwood, Louisiana artesian water. Clear Springs Water offers delivery of 5 or 3 gallon water service with a hot and cold temperature water cooler, or even single serve bottles delivered to your home or office. Easy to reach, clearsprings.net, then contact us tab, or 337-519-3563.
Every weeknight, MeTV has your laugh therapy.
To chase away the blues or the olive drabs.
With 2 hours of MASH at 5.
This guy's ankle has tickled my funny bone.
Followed by the Andy Griffith Show at 7.
Doggone it, Otis. You're supposed to be hugging me when I'm arresting you.
But he likes you, Barney.
Weeknights on MeTV.
Watch MeTV Acadiana on KLWB, over the air on Channel 50.1. Check your local cable listings for the channel in your area.
One enjoys eating hot dogs and watching baseball. The other loves eating sushi and playing yogurt U-card games. Not sure exactly what that is, but good for him, I guess. Anyway, back to more RP3 and Meche.
Well, if you're an average or above average wide receiver in the NFL, teams are going to be giving you money. The latest to get paid is Green Bay wide receiver Christian Watson. They have reached an agreement today on a 4-year, $110.5 million contract. 4 years, 110 for Christian Watson.
The average per year gets to $27,625,000.
You realize that Christian Watson had 611 yards over 10 games in his best season ever?
Yeah, because he's always injured. And he's more of a deep ball guy, and he drops a lot of deep balls.
Guys never even got to 1,000 yards.
Mm-hmm.
And my man, the Packers are like, what up? Here's $27.5 million per year for you to get us 600 yards.
He said, thanks, man. He's pretty consistent with 600 yards.
He's a number 2, number 3 guy, and they're paying him like he's a number 1. Alex Pierce, who you're higher on than I am, Alec Pierce, rather, sorry. I think that's how you say his name. This offseason, he got $28.5 million per.
Mm-hmm.
His best season, he had 1,003 yards. In the modern NFL, with extra games, where 1,000 yards you can essentially trip into if you're a number 1 wide receiver, Pierce has only done that once. And he's getting $28.5 million.
On 47 catches. 21.3 yards per catch average. It's pretty good. But no,
what is happening? We live in this time in the NFL where teams are drafting wide receivers. They're giving wide receivers a big contract. But when the second contract comes around, so many of these teams are trading said wide receivers.
Mm-hmm.
Tyreek Hill, Stephon Diggs, A.J. Brown. Go through the list.
They trade. Well, also the Colts traded Michael Pittman to the Steelers to make sure that they could get this done.
They traded Pittman away to get Pierce
to make sure that they could secure him.
Okay. I don't know. There's a lot of money being thrown around for wide receivers who are not great, and a lot of money being thrown around for guys that are on the same level as Chris Olave. So does this change our perception on what it's going to take based on what we've seen with Pierce this offseason? We just saw with Watson. We had another guy get a contract extension as well, wide receiver. Who was that?
Drake London.
Drake London is one of the top 5 highest paid wide receivers in the NFL. Drake London.
Whoa.
Cat, come on. He is not a top 5 wide receiver in this league.
No.
He's not even top 10. But he's getting paid like one.
I like Drake London in the top 10.
You like Drake London in the top 10.
I don't like that he's on the Falcons. but no, I think I give Drake London more credit for sure.
The man says Drake London is a difference maker. The man says Drake London is a premier wide receiver in the NFL. That's what you're telling me, Kat.
Yeah, I think he's one of the better ones.
That's what you're telling me right now.
I like Drake London as a player.
As a player, so you're saying Drake London on the same level. Let me just roll this out for you.
Okay.
You're telling me Drake London on the same level as Jamar Chase?
No.
Justin Jefferson?
No.
Puka Nacua?
No.
St. Brown?
No.
A.J. Brown?
Around A.J. Brown. Like I said, I think he's top 10. I don't think he's top 5. I'd rather CD.
All right. How about Scary Terry?
Yeah, in the same range. I'd probably take Drake London over Scary Terry, though.
Oh, what about JSN?
No, I'd rather JSN.
There we go.
Like I said, top 10.
Drake London's barely, maybe top 10. Barely. I wouldn't put him in my top 10 because I don't think he's a consistent enough performer for that. But my point is still, guys are getting wildly overpaid. You're telling me Drake London should be the fourth, I think he's the fourth highest paid wide receiver in the league?
On average, or are you talking about total value?
I think both of them
fourth. Both of them are third. Because Justin Jefferson his value is $140 million. Drake London's $141 million. So he got that one extra million.
You telling me Drake London's on the same level as Jets?
Not quite.
Not even close, Kat.
But
not even close.
As we've heard from the great Dawson Ijalo, he's put it like this: it's not about how good you are; it's about when your time is up.
That's fair.
And it's about the market. It's not like they're going to all of a sudden be like, "Well, Drake, we don't value you as much as we would Justin Jefferson or JSN or Jamar Chase, so we're going to pay you significantly less." It's like, well, no, like we've seen the money keep going up. They're not going to go steadfast on a guy that is their number one guy and that they believe in.
Oh, the man says he likes Drake London more than Jameson Williams or Cortland Sutton or Chris Godwin or Tet McMillan.
Yeah.
I don't.
I like Tet. But I would say Drake London is better.
Man loves Drake London.
Dude,
how many fantasy football teams is Drake London on for you?
He might have been on our RP3 Meche league for me last year, but I think that's the only stock I've ever had in Drake London. I'm severely jealous. I wish I had more of them.
Oh, do you now?
Yeah.
Do you now?
I wish.
No, you can wish. Do you realize that Drake London's only eclipsed 1,000 yards once in his 4-year career, James Meche? You realize he's never got to double-digit touchdowns? You realize he's only eclipsed more than 72 receptions in his career once? And that was 2 years ago, by the way. Not even last year, Kat. Not even last year. It was 2 years ago that he had 100 receptions for 1,200 yards and 9 touchdowns, all career highs. Last year, he dipped down to 68 catches for 919 and 7 touchdowns. Are those good numbers? Yes. Is that third highest in the NFL at wide receiver numbers? No.
I think the Christian Watson one
is more egregious.
Yes.
I
think I'm more okay with the Drake London deal.
What about Pierce?
I mean, I don't love it, but at the same time, once we get through these next couple of years and you see these other guys get extensions, you're going to be like, okay, well now he's only like the 25th highest paid wide receiver.
I get all that.
Which is
so what does that lead to Olave? Because Pierce is not as good as Olave. Watson is not as good as Olave, and I would argue when healthy that Drake London's not as good as Olave. So
I could trust Drake London to make a jump ball catch.
Okay, so what you're saying is you'd rather have Drake London on the Saints than Chris Olave?
They're pretty close.
Okay.
They're pretty close.
But let's get to the point that I've been trying to get at.
Yeah.
What does this mean for the Saints?
And I've said this throughout the offseason, especially after we saw how much JSN got paid, and it sounds weird to say since JSN's getting paid just over $42 million a year on average. But I would still expect Olave to be within that 30 to 32 a year on average range. Because if you look at it, Ayuk's getting exactly 30. We'll see how this goes for him. Amon-Ra's getting paid quite literally just a tick over $30 million a year. And this was when he got the extension a couple years ago. A.J. Brown's getting 32 exactly. And then Terry McLaurin, who signed the extension last offseason, is getting 32 and a third per year. And then Garrett Wilson also got the extension at 32 and a half per year on average. And DK Metcalf, who got his extension, is getting 33 million a year. I don't think he will get to the 34 and above range, maybe. But the Drake London news does make me think that this could up his price a little bit more. Because I don't necessarily worry about the Christian Watson, because we all believe that Olave is a better wide receiver than Watson is in Green Bay. But I think the Saints view Olave in a similar sense to London and Wilson and McLaurin. And with this, you're always going to try and up them. So the fact that McLaurin got his extension last offseason, got 32. Wilson got his extension last year, and he's got 32 and a half. DK got it last year at 33, and you just saw Drake London get it at 35. I mean, I'm giving more a pretty wide range, but it's got to be at least. To me, I would expect it to be at least 32. I don't know if they would go beyond go to like 35 and a half, like they just did with Drake London, but I don't think they would be too far off at this point.
It's going to cost them a little bit more, but the good thing for Saints is that they have the money to do it.
Yeah, they gave themselves a lot of room this offseason.
Correct, and you can, Mickey's going to do Mickey things. Hey, here's your base salary. It's going to be $100,000 because we're going to make it all into a signing bonus. And the league's going to let us do this because we found a way to cheat the system. You realize the Packers, though, I know we're up against a break. The Packers gave Jaden Reed 3 years, $50.25 million too this offseason, Cat. They gave Jaden Reed and Christian Watson all that money, and they had the one guy leave, right? The guy that would wear the big helmet?
Oh, yeah, Dobbs went to New England.
Yeah. Oh, that's another thing. With them getting A.J. Brown and signing Dobbs this offseason, they're going to have to trade Butte, right?
Trade one of those young guys. Because remember, they drafted Kyle Williams.
Yeah.
In 2025. They took a late round flyer on Kayshawn, and Kayshawn started to look better over the last couple of years. They had already traded Jalen Polk because that was a failure for them. And then they still have Pop Douglas, Demario Douglas, who's been with them for about 3 or 4 years now, and you would have thought with the more opportunity that he would start to develop, but he also just hasn't been a guy that's really been someone that they could rely on. That's why they signed Dobbs and traded for A.J. Brown. So I would think they would trade somebody, but it does feel like the one that they would get the most value out of because of his potential would be Kayshawn. If they're looking for value, I would think they would trade Kayshawn away.
Probably. We'll see. We'll see what happens there. We got to take a timeout. When we come back, we'll wrap up hour number 1 next.
This is RP3 and Meche live on ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles, Southwest Louisiana's sports station. ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles is your home for the Houston Astros.
And the Astros stun the Mariners.
Hunter Brown, Yordan Alvarez, and the rest of the Astros are looking to get back to the postseason. You can listen to every pitch, hit, and thrilling victory of the Houston Astros.
Incredible!
As Robert Ford and Steve Sparks will be on the call. Tune in this season for live Astros baseball on Southwest Louisiana's sports station.
Let's try something new, like not overloading your outlets. Up next, from Mr. Electric. You know that power strip and your extension cord? They are not a permanent lifestyle choice. You don't have to be afraid to get rid of them if they're damaged. And keep water far away from electricity. And if something sparks, buzzes, or smells like regret, call a professional. Because saving a few bucks is not worth turning your living room into a campfire. Home electrical safety. It's not shocking, unless you ignore it.
If you would like to learn more, visit MrElectric.com.
RP3Meche.com.
You're looking for not only a good electrician, but one you can trust. Here's Sean Dore with Mr. Electric.
Yeah, I love what I do. I love serving our community. It's a pleasure, it really is. Our reviews speak for the passion that I have. You know, we want to do good business. We want to be someone that you can trust to come in to your home.
Call Mr. Electric today or see us on Facebook.
Hi, I'm Nancy Landry. No matter what part of our great state you call home, Louisiana's elections are an important part of who we are. In 2026, closed party primaries will change how some of those elections happen, so you'll want to know what to do. Keeping your registration current ensures you'll get the right party-based ballot. Remember, this change only applies to certain offices.
To learn more, visit GoVote.com or download the GoVote app.
Paid for by the Louisiana Secretary of State's office.
MeTV is America's #1 classic entertainment television network. And here's one of the reasons everybody loves MeTV.
Oh, it's a classic.
The great comedy lineup on weeknights.
This will be fun. Come on.
With Meche.
Loaded with snappy comebacks.
The Andy Griffith Show.
I was just funning with Barney.
And Everybody Loves Raymond.
Now we got a show.
Watch Meet TV Acadiana on KLWB, over the air on Channel 50.1. Check your local cable listings for the channel in your area.
Do you know a veteran in need? Nation's Finest, through the VA's Supportive Services for Veteran Families program, helps veterans and their families struggling with rent, employment, and other housing-related costs. Today, Nation's Finest operates more than 30 locations in California, Arizona, and Nevada, helping thousands of veterans every year. Visit nationsfinest.org or call 1-833-468-9676. That's 1-833-468-9676.
We pride ourselves on treating our listeners like royalty.
Excuse me.
Not actual members of the royal family, mind you, but rather individuals who wear paper crowns. Hey, it's better than nothing. Back to more of ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles.
Oh, well, we got a couple minutes here. Let's talk about last night's Astros-Pirates game because it did not go down the way we thought it would. The marquee pitching matchup between the American League Pitcher of the Month, Spencer Arrighetti, former Louisiana Raging Cajun, against the Pittsburgh Pirates and the reigning NL Cy Young Award winner and LSU national champion, Paul Skeens. We were like, this is going to be a marquee pitching dogfight. It ended up being a game where 20 runs were totally scored and a total of 26 hits were had. Like, sometimes this happens, right, where it just goes that way. Alvarez had a phenomenal night at the plate, 4 or 5. Izak, he got himself 2 hits. I'm sure Kevin was very happy about that. Cameron Smith came up huge late. Arrighetti went 4 innings, gave up 4 earned runs on 6 hits, only struck out 3, had 83 pitches. Then it became a bullpen game. Santa, King, Pearson, Blue Ball came in there. He's actually the one that got the win. Josh Hader, your all-star closer.
He's back.
He got you the big save. Skeens, he only lasted a little bit longer than Arrighetti did. 4 2/3, gave up 3 earned runs on 7 hits, did strike out 7, but he got to 109 pitches in 4 2/3 because the Astros kept battling him and ended up being a bullpen game for them as well, as Soto's the one that got the loss. This is a back-and-forth game, right? Astros went up 2, and then Davis comes in there and, hits a grand slam for the Pirates. Now all of a sudden it's 4-2.
Sayonara, sucker.
Then Cam Smith has an RBI single to make it 4-3. But then the Pirates, they add it 5-3, 7-3, 8-3. Gonzalez had a home run during that stretch. And then Izak has a homer, 2-run blast, makes it 8-5. But then the Pirates, they go up 9-5 on a double by Gonzalez. And you're like, this game is over. We're in the 8th inning. There's no way. And give credit to the Stros. They were down 9-5, and they came all the way back and won it 11-9. Cam Smith had that triple that plated 2 runs, and they were able to win the game. We'll see if the Stros can continue their winning ways today. Hour 1's in the books. Hour number 2 coming up. Looking for your next firearm? Come visit Louisiana Gun Shop in Broussard. We've got financing options, 12 months same as cash, plus layaways up to 90 days. With a wide selection of new and used guns, we've got something for every budget, big or small. Have an old gun collecting dust? Trade it in or turn it into cash. Need parts? We've got the largest selection of AR-15 components in the area, from springs to grips and buttstocks. Explore our ever-changing used inventory online at LouisianaGunShop.com. Louisiana Gun Shop, your one-stop shop for firearms and more.
At Waterboys Water Well Services, we're more than just a quick fix. A handshake means more to us than a contract. From water treatment that protects your home and health to expert well drilling, pump installation, and maintenance, we've got your water covered. Cleaner, safer, better tasting water starts with trust and ends with Waterboys. Proudly serving Louisiana families with integrity and experience. Waterboys, high quality H2O products. 337-678-9955.
It's hurricane season, and Mid-South Power Solutions wants you and your family to be prepared. Protect your home from sudden power outages with a Generac automatic standby generator, the industry leader. Installed by the experts at Mid-South Power Solutions, the Generac automatic standby generator will start up during power failures, keeping your home powered until the local utility restores service. Remember, installing a standby generator is not a do-it-yourself project. Mid-South Power Solutions factory-trained technicians meet the highest standards. Don't get caught in the dark. Visit Mid-South Power Solutions in Crowley or at midsouthpowersolutions.com. Mid-South Power Solutions. Your power, our priority.
Hi, I'm Nancy Landry. No matter what part of our great state you call home, Louisiana's elections are an important part of who we are. In 2026, closed party primaries will change how some of those elections happen, so you'll want to know what to do. Keeping your registration current ensures you'll get the right party-based ballot. Remember, this change only applies to certain offices.
To learn more, visit GoVote.com or download the GoVote app.
Paid for by the Louisiana Secretary of State's office.
Live from Upper Lafayette, this is ESPN 1037 KLWB Carencro Lafayette, KLCJ-FM Oak Grove Lake Charles 1041, a Delta Media station.
This game isn't fun. This game is a war.
It's time for the 2-minute drill.
Hurry it up, hurry it up, hurry it up.
Powered by B1 Bank. Visit B1Bank.com to find a location near you.
Come on, let's go, you guys. Get in here, we gotta go fast now.
The Houston Astros evened up their series with the Pittsburgh Pirates last night with an 11-9 win at Dyken Park. Former Tiger Paul Skeens went 4 2/3, giving up 3 runs on 7 hits with 7 strikeouts, while former Raging Cajun Spencer Arrighetti went 4 innings, giving up 6 hits and 4 runs by way of a grand slam. Game 3 of the series will be tonight, and it'll be Jared Jones on the mound for the Pirates versus Kaiwei Ting for the Astros. First pitch is at 7:10 p.m., and you can listen to it right here on ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles. The New York Knicks extended their postseason winning streak to 12 games with a 105-95 victory over the San Antonio Spurs in Game 1 of the NBA Finals last night. Jalen Brunson led the way for New York, finishing the night with 30 points, with 13 coming in the fourth quarter alone. Game 2 of the NBA Finals will be Friday night in San Antonio with tip-off at 7:30 p.m. The Texas Longhorns took Game 1 of the Women's College World Series Championship Series 7-3 last night over Texas Tech. Now Texas sits just 1 game away from repeating as champions and becoming the 3rd program since 2010 to win back-to-back titles in softball. Game 2 will be tonight, and it's set for 7 p.m. in Oklahoma City. Game 2 of the Stanley Cup Finals will get underway tonight from the Lenovo Center in Raleigh, North Carolina. The Golden Knights lead the series 1-0, and puck drop is at 7 p.m. tonight. And in the PGA, the Memorial Tournament gets underway today from Muirfield Village Golf Club in Dublin, Ohio. I'm Blake Persher, and you're listening to ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles, your home for the LSU Tigers and the Houston Astros.
The 2-minute drill has been powered by B1 Bank. Visit B1Bank.com to find a location near you. Dynamic duos are nothing new to Louisiana sports fans. Breeze and Colston, Burrow and Chase. And here in Acadiana, we have our very own dynamic duo.
You're beautiful.
It's the big, bald, bearded, and beautiful one, Raymond Parch III.
I'm sexy and I know it.
And the man with the best head of hair in sports talk radio in Louisiana and Mississippi, James Meche. Here is RP3 and Meche on ESPN 1037 Lafayette and 1041 Lake Charles, Southwest Louisiana's sports station.
Hour number 2 has arrived here on this Thursday edition of RP3 and Meche as we broadcast live from inside the Beal and Abear studios here in Upper Lafayette. Beal and Abear, Acadiana's hometown lawyers. I'm the big, bald, beautiful one, Raymond Parch, the third, better known as RP3. And, of course, I'm joined, as always, by the producer extraordinaire, the LAB award winner, the man with the best trash stash in sports media in the states of Louisiana and Mississippi, James Meche. Hour 1 was a good one. We spent time recapping Game 1 of the NBA Finals, which the New York Knicks were able to take on the road. We also spoke a little bit about the inflated contracts for mediocre NFL wide receivers. How does that impact the Saints bringing back Chris Olave as well? We touched on that as well. Coming up this hour, we'll dive more into that Olave contract situation and talk all things Saints and some Pels, because we keep hearing rumors about Joe Dumars being aggressive with the New Orleans Pelicans this summer, with our buddy Les East of CrescentCitySports.com. But right now, we're going to kick off hour number 2 with our first guest of the day. He covers Major League Baseball for the USA Today Network. It's our old friend Bob Nightingale joins us now. Bob, good day to you, brother. How are you, my friend?
Yeah, doing great. Thanks, RP.
Always appreciate you making the time, man. I want to dive into the National League first. And obviously, full transparency, you know this very well. We've known each other for years. I am a lifelong Atlanta Braves fan. Even I am surprised of how well they are doing this year because they've dealt with injuries and they have a new skipper, and yet you could make the argument that Atlanta may be the best team in baseball. How surprising is it to you, even with the injuries that they've had, that here they sit 42-20?
Well, very surprised just because of the injuries. Remember in spring training when everybody went down. I mean, they lost, 3 starters, lost Kim at shortstop, lost a Profar with a drug suspension, lost Murphy behind the plate, on and on. It's almost like uncle. And then when they didn't do anything, like every one of them to sign Giolito or go get help, you're thinking, okay, these guys are going to struggle to be 500. And here they are. You can make the argument they're the best team in baseball. Certainly, or if the Dodgers are 1, they're 1A. But, yeah, it's unbelievable how well they've played, and particularly because they're still having injuries.
They're still having it, and, they're still getting Strider kind of back into the mode. That takes a little while. They've played so well, and I want to be positive, but, I'm also a realist. Every team is still flawed. There's always something that may bug you about a team, even if they're winning a lot of games. What's that one thing for you as a veteran baseball writer that when you look at the Braves, you go, that could be possibly an issue down the road?
I'd still like to see them get one more back-end reliever. At least especially 7th inning, someone, back there. And I'm sure they'll address that. I still worry about the bullpen a little bit. And you can never have enough starters, If something ever happened, God forbid, like a Chris Sale or something like that, it's like, oh, man, that's going to be a huge blow to their chances. So, wouldn't mind seeing, one more starter step in, too, just for some depth.
I despise the Philadelphia Phillies with every ounce of my being because they're an arch rival. That said, ever since they fired their skipper and put Donnie Baseball in charge of that team, they have turned things around almost instantly. And here they sit after such a dreadful start to the season. They're 3 games above 500, and they're playing some very good baseball of late. Did Donnie just make that much of a difference, in your opinion, Bob, or is something else going on with the Phillies?
Well, I mean, he walked into a good situation or a great situation in the sense that the schedule got a lot softer. I mean, I think if Rob Thompson had stayed, they would have turned it around too. Maybe not this quickly, because they're pretty much the same personality. I mean, Don and Rob, could be brothers. I mean, same soft-spoken personality. Never get too high, never too low. I think what the firing did was a wake-up call to the Phillies players. Like, hey, you just, because of your poor play, you just got a good man fired. You guys happy with that? You keep playing like this, we're going to fire your popular hitting coach, pitching coach, and go on and on. So I think it was more just a wake-up call than anything else. I mean, I think, you or I could have stepped in, and there would have been, I'm not saying, the same exact result, but I'm just saying the fact they fired Thompson was much more, bigger impact than who replaced him.
The expectations were that this was going to be a different season for the Mets, and yet it looks a lot like last year yet again. Why?
Well, it's almost like they went to the experiment lab, and shook things up so much, and they just didn't work out. I mean, I'm fine with it. Let Pete Alonso go. If they don't believe he's going to, live up to 5 years, that's fine. And he's just been, okay with Baltimore. But he also played every day. And you got a guy, brought in Polanco, who's already missed more time in 2 months than Alonso did in his entire tenure in Baltimore. Brought in a whole lot of new pieces. Marcus Semien has not played well. It mix and match so many things that it's kind of disastrous. So they're playing a little bit better now. I never really believed in them. I thought, okay, they're okay. I thought they had a chance for a wild card berth. I never thought they'd be, in the running for to win the division title. So, it's the thing, too, when people talk about the Dodgers and the payroll. Hey, the Mets have a bigger payroll this year. They've had the bigger payroll over the last 5 years combined. So, it's on them that they haven't done anything with it.
It's a very good point. The Mets love to spend money, and it just hasn't resulted in victories. A few weeks ago, or maybe more like 3 weeks ago, the Cubs looked like they were on pace to be right along with the Braves and the Dodgers as one of the best teams in the National League. It has gone sideways in a hurry for the team there on the north side. I know it's early, but they find themselves in fourth place in a competitive division. But I think people are surprised that the Cubs find themselves below the Cardinals and the Pirates in the division. What's going wrong for Chicago?
Yeah, for a while, people got way carried away. They were playing so far over their head. It's like, hold on now. They're not nearly as good as Atlanta or Los Angeles. Come on. And but that being said, they shouldn't be this bad or mediocre either. You take away those 2 10-game winning streaks, they're about, 8 or 9 games below 500. Alex Bregman hasn't, hit like they thought. Nancy Swanson has struggled. The starting rotation has been mediocre at best. Bullpen's been shaky. So on and on. It's like it's been kind of a disaster. There's no way they should, be having a worse record than the Pirates and the Cardinals, particularly the Cardinals. And the Cardinals are rebuilding, a full-scale rebuild. So we'll see. They're not this bad either. I still expect the Cubs to make the playoffs as a wild card team. But, as far as the last time people are going to quit underestimating the Milwaukee Brewers, it's like every single year, everybody picks the Cubs. I think the Brewers this year projected to win 83 games because they traded away their ace and Freddie Peralta, traded away their third baseman. And here they are again. I think they're on pace for 101 victories.
It is absolutely crazy. Yes, the Brewers just do run their organization the way they do, and they just keep just winning ball games. It's what they do. They have a great culture there and a great front office on how they handle things. Even when they lose stars and trade away assets and people go, oh, what are you doing? They always find a way to still be competitive. It's interesting how that approach is working. Let's go to the West. Not a surprise that the Dodgers sit atop there. They're 40-22. They're one of the best teams in baseball yet again. What has stood out to you about the start of the season for the Dodgers, and do you see any at all chinks in their armor, so to speak?
Well, the Dodgers, they've had a lot of injuries too, a ton of injuries, particularly rotation. With Snell and Glasnow out, Kiki Hernandez has been out, Teoscar Hernandez has been out. Mookie Betts has struggled since he came back, but here they are. Mike and Tucker hasn't done it really much at all. But here they are. They just have so much depth. No one talks about their farm system and their drafts. And these guys draft last or next to last every year, but yet they still come up with the guys, the homegrown players, and they still got about 12 homegrown players on that team. So I know they have some star quality, obviously, and particularly with Ohtani, but just that depth. Do they need Turk Skubal? No. But could they get him? Do they have the best chance to get him? Sure, because they have more prospects than anybody else.
We're talking with Bob Nightingale of USA Today, talking about the MLB. And Bob, we'll move over to the American League. It's pretty interesting to see the stark difference between the two leagues because you got 10 teams in the National League that are above 500, where it's only 5 for the American. At this point in time, a little over 60 games into the season, should we expect the American League to start to turn around in a sense with so many teams pretty close to actually being at 500 records?
Well, it's got you. I've never seen the American League this bad. It's unbelievable how poor they've played. But you're right. I mean, here's Seattle. Now they're starting to take off. I mean, they got way too much talent to be a 500 team or below 500 team for a while. I still think Texas Rangers will make a run here and be in position for a wild card berth and nothing else. I'm not sure about the Astros and everybody else in the division. Then in the Central, Detroit's not that bad. I mean, they did sweep the Rays over the weekend, or this week, I should say, and they're a better team than this. I know Scuba went down, but to lose 21-25 was unbelievable. So I expect them to get better. Cleveland's been, massive surprise, just how great they've been over the years, and they just do things right on a tiny budget. And of course, the AL East is still a monster. I mean, with the I still think the Yankees are the class at division. Rays playing very well, probably a little bit ahead, although it's starting to slip now a little bit. And Toronto will be better as well.
Yeah, the Rays have been on a little bit of a skid as of late. They're 2-8 in their last 10 games, which really opened the door for the Yankees to come back in this one. So that feels like it's going to be a really tight race, but also at the bottom in that division standings, the Red Sox felt like they were dead in the water so early in the season. They got rid of their skipper really early on, and yet all of a sudden, I'm sure the well's going to run dry soon, but it feels like there's at least a little bit of life in Boston, right?
A little bit. Just that offense is bad, really bad. Pitching's fine, but just they don't seem to have that offense. It hurts without, being without Roman Anthony. Of course, they didn't re-sign Bregman. So we'll see. I would think there's more life in the Baltimore Orioles than the Red Sox. This team is grossly underachieved, too. But, they never got that big-time pitcher that they should have during the offseason as far as a starter. So I give Baltimore a better chance to jump back than the Red Sox.
How about just a couple of years ago, we were seeing historically bad numbers from the Chicago White Sox, yet all of a sudden we come into 2026 and they're just a couple of games behind the Guardians for the division lead. It's been quite a nice turnaround to see from Chicago over there.
It is. I just don't expect it to last. A little bit like the St. Louis Cardinals. I mean, the White Sox, for instance, they went through all this painful rebuilding process. So the last thing in the world they're going to do is trade away prospects and go for it at the deadline, knowing they're realistically a year away, maybe two. But the way they're played, maybe it's just, 1 year away. But, yeah, a pleasant surprise and, gives them hope for the future. But I don't expect them to be a contender the second half, just like I don't with the St. Louis Cardinals. And we'll see about those others. But, yeah, both the Cardinals and White Sox are, grossly overachieving at this point.
With that being the case, would you expect maybe the Twins or more of the Tigers to jump them later on in the standings, even though there's a good bit of a difference and a gap between those two right now?
Yeah, same thing. Twins, had that fire sale last year's trade deadline. I don't expect them to bounce back. They're just hanging around because the division's so bad. The Tigers are interesting. You lose 21-25. You don't expect them to go to Tampa and sweep the Rays. So we'll see. They weren't as bad as 4-21 team, but they're not World Series contender either. So I expect them to play at least around 500 baseball, and you got to hold off on the Tarek Skubal talks until probably around the All-Star game.
Looking towards the AL West, though, early on it was more of the Athletics that were in the lead, but Seattle's been on fire as of late. What have you liked seeing from this Mariner squad?
Well, just that pitching. The pitching, has always been, as good, if not the best in baseball. Nobody wanted to face the Mariners in the postseason. So those starters now are coming around, particularly Emerson Hancock. and they can beat anybody any night with that pitching. And the offense is starting to perk up a little bit. Some of the young guys have stepped up. So I expect them to pull away here. The A's now, they played okay. They can't win at home. I mean, I think it's in their head now that you can't pitch in Sacramento. They play games next week in Vegas for the first time. 6 games in Vegas. We'll see how that goes. But I think they're really gearing up, for 2028 when they move to Vegas. I think they could be in the playoffs next year. I just think they're not going to be aggressive at the trade deadline, and they shouldn't be, that they say, you know what, we're gearing up for next year.
And then we'll look towards our hometown team in the Houston Astros. It's been another rough season. Let's keep it a buck here. Only 7 games behind 500 here, but at the same time, what's been really nice to see is Yordan Alvarez actually be healthy and be the slugger that we always known he's been to be. But from a nationwide perspective, how has it been nice to see Alvarez be out there and rival other guys like Judge and Schwarber and others?
Oh, he makes a huge difference. I mean, one-man wrecking crew. We'll see, how the Astros finish up the season, but certainly Alvarez is going to be the MVP hunt for sure. Just go by your numbers and ability. I've had scouts that have watched Alvarez this year, and they swear up and down he's the best pure hitter baseball's seen since Barry Bonds. It's just unbelievable what he does. If he was playing in New York or L.A., he'd be a household name everywhere. And the Dodgers don't do many things wrong, but one of them was trading away Alvarez when he was a 16-year-old. And man, you mentioned the Dodgers, if they still had this guy.
With how many injuries the Astros have had, it feels like if everything can go correctly, they'll get a lot of reinforcements back, which has kind of kept them in a hunt in the sense. Over this next month or two, between June and July, not for the whole season, but for this next month or two, how do you think the Astros will fare in being able to put themselves back in contention for the division?
Yeah, just they need that pitching to step up. I know it's been banged up with injuries and stuff, so that's what you wonder about, when those guys come back, how effective are they going to be, that sort of thing. I just don't think they have the personnel, to put together a great run, not with that starting rotation. McCullers has been, hurt so much over the years and stuff. I thought they really needed him, and that hasn't worked out. So I just worry about the Astros starting rotation being able to put together a run. I just don't see it.
Bob, we appreciate you coming on. As always, keep up the tremendous work you're doing over there, covering the MLB for USA Today, and we'll get you back on soon, all right?
All right, my pleasure. Take care, buddies.
We're going to go ahead and take a timeout. When we come back, more RP3 Meche coming up. You're listening to ESPN, Southwest Louisiana Sports Station.
This is RP3 and Meche live on ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles, Southwest Louisiana's sports station.
ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles, Southwest Louisiana Sports Station, and Mid-South Power Solutions in Crowley bring you this hurricane safety tip. Make sure to secure your home and bring in outdoor items. Have an emergency kit with water, food, and medication. Know your evacuation routes and listen to your local authorities. Stay informed with battery-powered radio. Remember, safety is in your hands. Your hurricane preparedness tips are powered by Mid-South Power Solutions in Crowley, your local Generac dealer. Visit midsouthpowersolutions.com.
Do you need more of the fellas here on Southwest Louisiana's sports station? Of course you do. So go make sure and subscribe to ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles YouTube channel at ESPN_SWLA. Don't forget to turn that bell on so you get notifications for new episodes of Four Tire Change Podcast, where Dawson Iserlo talks all things NASCAR, or Cleats and Sneaks with James Meche. Get yourself more of Southwest Louisiana's sports station at ESPN_SWLA on YouTube.
Looking for the perfect place to play golf in the heart of Louisiana? Look no further than Farm Alley Golf Club in Carencro. Whether you're a seasoned pro or just getting started, we've got a course for you. With lush fairways, challenging holes, and spectacular views, our 18-hole course offers a top-tier experience for golfers of all skill levels. Book your tee time at farmdalleygolfclub.com today, and don't forget, weekend rates include free range balls to help you warm up before you hit the course. Get out to Farm Alley Golf Club in Carencro, Louisiana. Your next golfing adventure is just a click away. Visit farmdalleygolfclub.com to book your tee time now. See you on the greens.
Need peace of mind with your estate planning? Turn to Beal & Hebert, your trusted hometown lawyers. At Beal & Hebert, we make estate planning simple and stress-free, ensuring your legacy is secure and your future is in the right hands. Don't wait. Schedule your consultation today at BealHebert.com. That's BealHebert.com. Safeguarding your tomorrow today.
Your Honor, I would like to introduce exhibit number 1.
MeTV is America's #1 classic television network.
There can only be one number 1, me.
MeTV features over 60 of the greatest classic TV series each week.
Go with the winner.
Enjoy dramas, comedies, westerns, sci-fi, and more.
You just watch me.
Watch MeTV Acadiana on KLWB, over the air on Channel 50.1. Check your local cable listings for the channel in your area.
MeTV is memorable entertainment television.
Hi, I'm Nancy Landry. No matter what part of our great state you call home, Louisiana's elections are an important part of who we are. In 2026, closed party primaries will change how some of those elections happen, so you'll want to know what to do. Keeping your registration current ensures you'll get the right party-based ballot. Remember, this change only applies to certain offices.
To learn more, visit govote.com or download the GoVote app.
Paid for by the Louisiana Secretary of State's office.
School sports are played by humans, coached by humans, and officiated by humans. So the next time you're sitting in the stands at a school athletic event, please remember this and maintain your humanity, especially when it comes to judging and critiquing athletes, coaches, and officials. Please show your fellow humans some respect. They'll appreciate your empathy.
This message presented by the LHSAA and the Louisiana High School Athletic Directors Association.
One is known far and wide for his luscious head of hair.
We just wash the hair. You know, I work on my hair a long time.
The other wishes he still had his. Back to more RP3 and Meche.
Oh, how about an update about the Memorial Tournament? That's Jack's tournament. They're in Dublin, Ohio. They're on the PGA Tour. We have a four-way tie atop the leaderboard. Nick Taylor, he's Canadian, by the way. J.J. Spawn, Wyndham Clark, who is not Dawson's favorite golfer, by the way, in case you wanted to bring that up later on the lowdown. Not a big fan of Wyndham in his temper tantrums.
Yeah. What?
Yeah. Wyndham's got a little bit of punk behavior. And Tommy Fleetwood. So Nick Taylor, J.J. Spawn, Wyndham Clark, and Tommy Fleetwood all sit at 4 under par. Nick Taylor is done for the day. He shot a 68. His round is finished. Right behind them, though, Sam Burns at 3 under par through 16. Justin Rose there at 3 under as well. And then you have some other recognizable names. Tony Finau, 2 under. Jordan Spieth, we had already mentioned him earlier. He shot 1 under par today. Keegan Bradley did as well for the day. Shane Lowry's at 1 under. Rory's at 1 under. So Adam Scott's even par. He shot a 72. So did Matsuzama, who shot an even par 72. Their days are done. Cameron Young, Justin Thomas are still out there on the course. So you got a lot of big names on this in the field for the Memorial. Everyone loves playing in Jack's tournament. So we'll keep you up to date on the scores there from round number 1 there at Muirfield Village Golf Club in Dublin, Ohio. How about a update on the poll question of the day, sir? Because golf was an option.
Yes, it was. And we asked you on Facebook on our next, if you had the choice to go pro in a sport, which one would you choose? Our guy Salty Steve said he's going with being a golfer. You can play it longer, and they have a senior tour. Good for you. Good for you, Salty Steve. Ton said napping. Oh, wait, that's not a sport? I guess I'll go soccer.
Soccer?
Yeah, apparently Ton was, as he claims, a pretty good goalie back in middle and high school. Just wasn't good enough for college.
No. Well, good for him.
Good for you, Ton.
Good for the soccer folks. World Cup's coming up. People are excited for for not being able to afford tickets and them not being able to sell tickets in certain places of the country because, I digress. Continue.
Ralph says he's going with golf. if a former greenskeeper from the Bushwood Country Club can become a Masters champion, well, there's a Cinderella story in those over there.
You've never seen Caddyshack, have you?
No.
That's a Caddyshack reference. Bill Murray's the groundskeeper, and he pretends that he's at the Masters, and he hits flowers there on the course, and he's a bit of an idiot as well. But it's a brilliant movie, an awesome movie. So many of you young people have never seen Caddyshack, and it drives me bananas. First of all, they would never make that movie these days because they would have too much inappropriate humor, and we can't do that. We're too sensitive for that kind of stuff.
It's the best kind of humor.
But you get Bill Murray, you get Chevy Chase, you get Rodney Dangerfield. It's just so good. I think I'm going to go home and watch. I'm going to watch Caddyshack this weekend.
You know what? Good for you.
While you're in Mobile at your Yogurt U tournament, I'll be at home watching Caddyshack and watching the Memorial on TV.
Chris says you're on with Bassmasters, though.
Oh, I heard that. Look, you get paid to fish. Did you realize that BP is such
he's big into fishing?
Yeah. Did you realize that?
I would have never guessed.
He spoke about it. I didn't realize until today that our guy Blake Purser is that much of an outdoorsman. He's an angler, if you will. He probably has his own professional, box that he takes, tackle box. He's probably got all the different types of lures in there. He probably gets after it. I used to fish when I was a kid. We do cane pole fishing, though, when I was a kid. Yeah,
Whoa.
Like old school cane pole fishing. Did that for the longest time. Then I had a rod and reel. I used to go catfish fishing. I used to fish for brim. I haven't fished in years, though. I used to really enjoy it. It was very relaxing. But I digress. Enough about the fishing. Quickly, we had the National Championship Series begin last night for college softball at the Women's College World Series in Oklahoma City. It's a rematch from last year's National Championship Series. Texas Tech, the Texas Tech, Louisiana Raging Cajun Red Raiders, and any other players that they've bought because they have a fracking billionaire funneling money to the program. Remember, they lost last year. It was the battle of the old money versus can you go out and actually buy yourself a championship by buying a coach and half of their players and buying players out of the portal and just throwing them together. And Texas Tech got really close. Former Cajun coach Jerry Glasgow got really close. And then after they vanquished Bama twice in the semifinals, they set up a rematch. Well, how'd that go last night, James?
Well, it went very much in favor of the Longhorns.
There it is.
It really wasn't all that close. You look at the pitching staff as well for Texas Tech. They had to go to 3 of them. Terry only went 1 1/3. Then Kennedy, who's been awesome for the Raiders, obviously, for the last couple of years. She also goes 1 1/3, and then they rely on Lincoln the rest of the way. But it was Kavon for Texas who went all 7 innings, picked up her 29th win.
7-3 victory for the Longhorns. They take down a team that won 61 games, by the way, and they did so with ease. Texas Tech was held to 3 hits the entire game. 3. That's it. And now their backs are against the wall because, as you mentioned, Terry got roughed up. I would assume they're going to probably throw Kennedy tonight in game 2. But if the best team money can buy is going to find a way, their backs are against the wall against the defending national champs. So we'll see what happens at the Women's College World Series National Championship Series. Once again, the Longhorns lead that one 1-0. Game 2 is tonight. We got to take a timeout. When we come back, we'll talk Saints' latest issues with Chris Olave. Hey, Alvin Kamara showed up at OTAs. We'll talk about that as well as the rumors involving trading away players and Joe Dumars being ultra-aggressive this summer. We'll do so with Crescent City Sports Less East. That's next.
This is RP3 and Meche live on ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles, Southwest Louisiana's sports station.
This game isn't fun. This game is a war.
It's time for the 2-minute drill.
Hurry it up, hurry it up, hurry it up.
Powered by B1 Bank. Visit b1bank.com to find a location near you.
Come on, let's go, you guys. Get in here, we gotta go fast now.
The Houston Astros evened up their series with the Pittsburgh Pirates last night with an 11-9 win at Daikin Park. Former Tiger Paul Skeens went 4 2/3, giving up 3 runs on 7 hits with 7 strikeouts, while former Raging Cajun Spencer Arrighetti went 4 innings, giving up 6 hits and 4 runs by way of a grand slam. Game 3 of the series will be tonight, and it'll be Jared Jones on the mound for the Pirates versus Kaiwei Ting for the Astros. First pitch is at 7:10 p.m., and you can listen to it right here on ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles. The New York Knicks extended their postseason winning streak to 12 games with a 105-95 victory over the San Antonio Spurs in Game 1 of the NBA Finals last night. Jalen Brunson led the way for New York, finishing the night with 30 points, with 13 coming in the fourth quarter alone. Game 2 of the NBA Finals will be Friday night in San Antonio with tip-off at 7:30 p.m. The Texas Longhorns took Game 1 of the Women's College World Series Championship Series 7-3 last night over Texas Tech. Now Texas sits just 1 game away from repeating as champions and becoming the 3rd program since 2010 to win back-to-back titles in softball. Game 2 will be tonight, and it's set for 7 p.m. in Oklahoma City. Game 2 of the Stanley Cup Finals will get underway tonight from the Lenovo Center in Raleigh, North Carolina. The Golden Knights lead the series 1-0, and puck drop is at 7 p.m. tonight. And in the PGA, the Memorial Tournament gets underway today from Muirfield Village Golf Club in Dublin, Ohio. I'm Blake Purser, and you're listening to ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles. Your home for the LSU Tigers and the Houston Astros.
The 2-minute drill has been powered by B1 Bank. Visit b1bank.com to find a location near you. ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles is the proud winner of 4 2026 LAB Prestige Awards, including Best Use of Digital Media, Foot's Friday Fury, Best Live On-Site Remote for our Super Bowl Radio Road coverage, Best Promotion for our No Shave November initiative, and Radio Young Professional of the Year for Dawson Iserloh. We're proud of being Southwest Louisiana's sports station and are humbled to be recognized by the Louisiana Association of Broadcasters.
Did you know you can get great tasting Clear Springs artesian water delivered to your office or your doorstep at home? Clear Springs is 100% local with their own bottling facility at the world-famous Kentwood Aquifer, no chemicals added. Just pure Kentwood, Louisiana artesian water. Clear Springs Water offers delivery of 5 or 3 gallon water service with a hot and cold temperature water cooler or even single-serve bottles delivered to your home or office. Easy to reach, clearsprings.net, then contact us tab or 337-519-3563.
It's 9 a.m. You just received a voicemail from your boss.
Hey, Janet. Heads up. We got an important meeting coming up Thursday. The big guys are coming into town, so I need you in charge of lunch, and we've got to look good.
Luckily for Janet, she knows a place, and she knows her boss will be impressed.
Honey Baked Ham can cater your next event. Delicious and freshly sliced deli trays, box lunches with sandwich, chips, and dessert. Or try our fresh salad boxes, and the perfect touch with a meat and cheese tray. Honey Baked Ham Company.
Oh, look who's here.
Everybody Loves Raymond is on MeTV.
Who told you that?
Raymond!
America's #1 classic TV network.
Nothing even comes close.
Enjoy 2 back-to-back episodes every weeknight.
We're doing it twice.
Watch Everybody Loves Raymond.
Yeah, it's all about you, Raymond.
Weeknights starting at 8 on MeTV.
Watch MeTV Acadiana on KLWB, over the air on Channel 50.1. Check your local cable listings for the channel in your area.
Serving part-time in the Army National Guard has led to a lot of firsts for me. It paid for me to be the first person in my family to go to school. That education got me to the first day at my dream job, which I can still hold while I serve part-time. That job and the home loan benefits I got from the Army National Guard helped me buy my first house. I also know that I will be one of the first to respond if my community ever needs me.
Sponsored by the Louisiana Army National Guard, aired by the Louisiana Association of Broadcasters and this station.
Do you know a veteran in need? Nation's Finest, through the VA's Supportive Services for Veteran Families program, helps veterans and their families struggling with rent, employment, and other housing-related costs. Today, Nation's Finest operates more than 30 locations in California, Arizona, and Nevada, helping thousands of veterans every year. Visit nationsfinest.org or call 1-833-468-9676. That's 1-833-468-9676.
Bring that case in! Who dat ready for New Orleans Saints talk? We are. That's who. Time to talk all things black and gold. This is the Big Easy Blitz here on RP3 and Meche.
And we're going to speak with our good friend, the award-winning columnist reporter from CrescentCitySports.com. Les East joins us now. Les, good day to you, my friend. How are you?
I'm doing well, Raymond. How are you guys doing?
We are doing excellent. Before we dive into the Saints, I want to start off with a little Pels talk with you, if you don't mind. We keep hearing rumors that the Pels are going to try to be aggressive here, that Joe D wants to be aggressive in trading players and trading for players, much like he did early in his tenure with the Detroit Pistons when he put together that championship team really via trade. My question to you is, are you giving any credence whatsoever to the rumors of trading Trey Murphy or bringing in Jaylen Brown or anything like that?
Well, I think there's something there, but I would caution before we expect anything big to happen. As far as Trey is concerned, if the Pelicans are going to make a big move, they're going to have to give up a major asset. And so that could be Trey Murphy III. It could be Zion Williamson, although they seem like they're kind of intrigued about what they can build with Zion and the rookies from last year. So I think Trey is a more likely candidate. You know, Herb Jones would also command some interest, but he's one of the few guys on this roster who I think kind of fits the prototype of what Joe Dumars and Jamal Mosley want. So I think he's less likely. So if you're looking for a significant piece that would bring something on the market that makes sense, I think Trey's the guy. So, yeah, I think there will be talk about what he would bring to them in a potential trade. That doesn't guarantee anything. And as far as Jaylen Brown, I mean, that's the type of player who would really shake up the roster, and he's exactly what Joe Dumars and Jamal Mosley would like to see, a defense-first guy, but also a good offensive player, tough guy, physical guy. So I think people have kind of gotten ahead of themselves in thinking there's a lot of fire there right now with Jaylen Brown. But certainly the Pelicans would be interested in talking about Jaylen Brown, and they would have to move significant assets to get someone like that, and certainly Trey Murphy III would be a candidate for that. So, you know, that possibility makes sense, but I think we're a long way from seeing something like that happen. Between now and the draft, we still have about 3 weeks, and so we'll see how it plays out as we get closer to the draft.
Does that mean you think DeJounte Murray and Poole are going to be Pelicans next season?
Well, not necessarily. I think they would be more than happy to move Jordan Poole. The question is whether they're going to find somebody who's willing to take on that contract for somebody who did not live up to expectations last season. So certainly I think they would be willing to move him. I don't know if that's going to happen. DeJounte, I think, has some of the qualities they like. He's a leader. He's a tough guy. He's a defense-first guy, although he's also an excellent point guard on offense. So if they had to move him to get what they want, they would be open to that. But also I think the idea of grooming Jeremiah Fears behind him is pretty attractive. And so, you know, much like Zion, I think DeJounte is a guy that they wouldn't it wouldn't be their preference to move him, but I think they are willing to listen to just about any possibility, short of maybe trading one of the lottery picks from last year.
I want to step away from the Pelicans and I want to talk about the Saints now. Alvin Kamara decided to get out of bed and, you know, come to OTAs, with something he typically doesn't do. What do you make as the decision to show up, and what do you think that means for him being on this team and playing for this team in the 2026 season?
Well, I think it was a calculated move on the part of Alvin and his agent to try and light a fire under the Saints. You know, the Saints have indicated, without really verbalizing it too much, they've indicated that they want to renegotiate his contract to make it more cap friendly and to be more in line with what could be a reduced role next season if he is on the team. So, I think everybody wants to get this resolved fairly quickly, and I think Alvin and his agent made the calculation. If you show up and speak to the New Orleans media and get this on the front burner, maybe we can get this resolved before the Saints break for their 6-week window leading up to training camp. So I think it was purely a calculated business move to try and get the ball moving. Now, as far as Alvin being on the team, he's under contract. Certainly he has value, even if he's not the number one back next year. The question is, can they get a contract that's agreeable to both sides? I think that's what they're working on now. That's what yesterday was designed to try and accelerate. But, the wild card in all this is whenever he speaks about Alvin, which is only when he's asked about Alvin, Kellen Moore just sounds kind of lukewarm about the possibility of what Alvin might be able to do this year. So I don't know what's going through his mind. But other than that wild card, as I said, I think it's pretty likely they'll get a deal done and Alvin will come to training camp, and then we'll see how it plays out from there.
Do you feel like, with that being the case, with how Kellen Moore has approached talking about Alvin this whole offseason, that they've just basically been planning without him, and that if he is there, then they'll just make the adjustment, but just to be safe for themselves, that it would be Achane as the lead role and then the Young Bucks after that. And then if Kamara's there, then it's like, okay, that's cool. He'll just be our number 2 option.
Yeah, I think that's kind of the way it is. I mean, obviously they signed Achane to be their lead back, and they have several other options on the roster with young guys, including Ty Chandler, who they signed from the Vikings as a kickoff returner, but also a running back, and then the 3 young guys. So they're set. I mean, if Alvin doesn't show up, they have more running backs than they can keep on the roster. So I think that's kind of the way they've shaped this whole thing, is to make sure that they were covered with or without Alvin. And if Alvin does show up, well, fine. He's a good player. He's a good guy. He's a great teammate. Then, let it play out in training camp and figure it out then. But, I think they've definitely positioned themselves to be in very good shape with or without Alvin. And now we have to figure out whether he's actually going to be there. And it's starting to look like he will probably be at training camp. That doesn't guarantee that he'll be on the team for the season opener. But the longer he's on the roster, the more likely that is.
With the attempt to renegotiate the contract, does that mean that that this is also just a lateral move to help with a soon-to-be contract extension with Chris Olave?
Yeah, I think that probably factors into the Olave situation to some degree. That's one of their priorities, is they want to get a long-term deal done with Chris. Unfortunately for them, the Falcons got a deal done with Drake London first, and that drove the price up for all wide receivers with a chance to hit the open market in the near future. So they're going to have to find a lot of money to get the deal done with Chris. I think their hope is to get that deal done by training camp or very early in training camp. And if they can get free up some dollars by redoing Alvin's deal, that makes it easier to get the deal done with Chris. So, I think any financial move they're working on right now is done with an eye toward how it can help them get the Olave deal done.
Early on in the offseason, I thought that the range of how much Chris Olave would get on his new contract would be between $28 and $30 million, probably more towards $30 million with some of the other guys that got contract extensions last year. But it feels like after what we saw today with Christian Watson getting on average over 27.5, and it's going to be over 35 per year for Drake London, Do you feel like that would be the closer range as something similar to what Drake London got?
Well, I think you would probably drop in between those two somewhere. It's almost like, slotting in the draft, as the picks around you settle on deals, it kind of sets the price for people who haven't yet signed. And I think the more veterans who are comparable to Chris Olave, people can always nitpick about who's a little bit better or a little bit worse than the other guys, but they're all in the same ballpark. So as those other numbers get set, I think it narrows the focus of what the market dictates for Chris Olave. And so, yeah, I think probably somewhere between Watson and London gives you a pretty good idea of where this is probably going to settle in.
Yeah, especially when you look at other guys that recently got contracts, like last offseason, you saw Garrett Wilson get on average 32.5, and Alec Pierce this offseason is going to get 28.5. Like, it feels like it'd be in that early to mid 30s of what Olave gets, especially as time goes along and more wide receivers get more updated contracts.
Yeah, I think the window there is kind of shrinking, and so the numbers are it's pretty clear what the Saints are going to know that they have to pay at least X amount, and Olave's people are going to push. Obviously, they're going to look at Drake London and try and push it a little bit higher, and the Saints will probably have to try and rein them in a little bit there. But I do think it's getting the parameters of a deal are getting narrower and narrower, and that's why I think there's a good chance they will have this done before training camp. They report on July 28th, practice on the 29th. So I think there's a good chance it'll get done before that or right in there at the end of July in those first few days of practice.
Les, we appreciate you coming on. Keep up the tremendous work you're doing over there covering the Saints and Pels, and we'll get you back on soon, all right?
Thanks, guys.
We're going to go ahead and take a timeout. When we come back, we'll wrap up this edition of RP3 and Meche. Get you ready for the lowdown. Right after this, you're listening to ESPN Southwest Louisiana Sports Station.
This is RP3 and Meche live on ESPN 1037 Lafayette and 1041 Lake Charles, Southwest Louisiana's sports station.
Whether you're needing to get yourself a new or used handgun to help protect your family, or get yourself a new rifle or shotgun for hunting season, or maybe you're just running low on ammo, the place to go, of course, is our friends at Louisiana Gun Shop, located at 2927 Highway 90 East in Broussard. They're open Monday through Friday, 9:30 a.m. until 6 o'clock in the evening, and because they're a local business, they pride themselves on teaming up with a local finance company to help you with a layaway program. In addition to that, they're also offering classes. That's right, a full concealed carry class on June 27th. That's Louisiana Gun Shop, located at 2927 Highway 90 East in Broussard. Go see them today.
ESPN 1037 Lafayette and 1041 Lake Charles is your home for the Houston Astros.
And the Astros stun the Mariners.
Hunter Brown, Yordan Alvarez, and the rest of the Astros are looking to get back to the postseason. You can listen to every pitch, hit, and thrilling victory of the Houston Astros.
Incredible!
As Robert Ford and Steve Sparks will be on the call. Tune in this season for live Astros baseball on Southwest Louisiana's sports station.
Everybody's talking about the big, beautiful bill, and it's game-changing for taxpayers. Hi, this is Kerry Bryson with the Bryson Law Firm. We've read the bill, and if you've been putting off a tax problem, it's time to call the Bryson Law Firm and get it resolved. This new legislation could give you a chance to get things straight with the IRS. Whether it's getting caught up on unfiled returns or negotiating IRS debts, there are a lot of new deductions and opportunities in the big, beautiful bill, and the Bryson Law Firm knows how to use them strategically. We've been staying on top of the tax changes in the big, beautiful bill, and we're ready to help our clients take full advantage. So if you owe back taxes or haven't filed returns in years, it's time to call the Bryson Law Firm and finally resolve your tax issues. Remember, if you have tax problems, you have legal problems. Call the Bryson Law Firm. Our headquarters are in Lafayette, and we have offices statewide. Or visit BrysonLawFirm.com to schedule your free consultation with your local tax resolution law firm. The Bryson Law Firm, LSP filing number LA 251979.
Oh, look who's here.
Everybody Loves Raymond is on MeTV.
Who told you that?
Raymond!
America's #1 classic TV network.
Nothing even comes close.
Enjoy 2 back-to-back episodes every weeknight.
We're doing it twice.
Watch Everybody Loves Raymond.
Yeah, it's all about you, Raymond.
Weeknights starting at 8 on MeTV.
Watch Meet TV Acadiana on KLWB, over the air on Channel 50.1. Check your local cable listings for the channel in your area.
Serving part-time in the Army National Guard has led to a lot of firsts for me. It paid for me to be the first person in my family to go to school. That education got me to the first day at my dream job, which I can still hold while I serve part-time. That job and the home loan benefits I got from the Army National Guard helped me buy my first house. I also know that I will be one of the first to respond if my community ever needs me.
Sponsored by the Louisiana Army National Guard. Aired by the Louisiana Association of Broadcasters and this station.
BB's Auto Sales has been serving Acadiana since 1966. Cleanest selection of pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs. Need financing? No problem. BB's offers easy financing for all credit types, including in-house financing. Plus, they're paying top dollar for your trade. Voted top 3 dealership in Community Choice Awards 2 years in a row. Visit BB's Auto Sales, 2 convenient locations off Johnston Street and in Abbeville. BBAutoSales.com. Cleanest cars in Acadiana.
ESPN 1037 Lafayette and 1041 Lake Charles is the #1 rated sports station in Louisiana, according to our mamas.
Mama said that. Mama said that. My mama said that. My mama said.
Back to more of our mama's favorite sports station.
Oh, how about we thank our guests for joining us on this Thursday edition of the show. Bob Nightingale from USA Today, talking all things Major League Baseball with us. Les East from CrescentCitySports.com. Want to thank them for their time. Also want to give a shout out to our friends at Smalls Sliders. We had lunch provided today here inside the Beeline Air Bear Studios.
Shout out.
Courtesy of our friends over at Smalls. They have the 2 locations in Lafayette. Oh, man, you can never go wrong with them burgers and them fries and the shake. It's everything that you need and more, isn't it? It's delightful. So appreciate them for hooking us up with some lunch today. How about a quick update on the poll question of the day before we wrap up today's show and get you set up for the lowdown with D-Lo, Mr. Meche?
Yeah, there's been a little bit of love towards people saying football of the sport that they would go pro in if they had the choice. It was pretty much me. No votes towards basketball. It's because people hate basketball in this area. It's a shame.
No, they've just been conditioned with so much bad basketball professionally for so long that it's been that way.
No,
give you
it. It's fine.
Give you an update from the Memorial Tournament there in Dublin, Ohio. That's Jack's tourney. Solo leader Wyndham Clark, Mr. I destroy things when my round doesn't go my way. 6 under par through 16. Tommy Fleetwood is solo second now at 5 under through 15. And then you have 2 guys at 4 under, Nick Taylor and J.J. Spawn. Sam Burns is at 3 under. Justin Rose, 3 under. Shane Lowry now 2 under. Rory's now 2 under. Jordan Spieth, 1 under. Keegan Bradley's 1 under. So some decent scores, some low scores here to start things off. And now you have the afternoon wave of golfers hitting the course, including Scotty Scheffler. He's at even par through 1. He's paired up with Xander Schauffele, and part of that group as well. So we'll give you updates, of course, through the lowdown with D-Lo because we know Dawson is locked in. What do you think Dawson's going to go with the poll question of the day? Do you think he's going to go baseball or golf?
Ooh. I think he would do baseball.
I don't know. He may do golf. He's a pretty good.
He does enjoy some golf.
He downplays how good of a scratch golfer he is, but he is actually very good. I even asked him the last time we played in that charity event. I asked him. I said, "Man, you didn't play at all in high school?" And he said, "No, he played baseball instead." So I'll be interested to see. Fascinating to see what our guy Dawson Eislow has to say for our poll question of the day. Keep voting on that. Keep leaving your comments on Facebook and on X. Tomorrow, we got Keith Smith. He's going to be joining us talking what, James Meche?
We're going to be talking NBA Finals.
Yeah, we are. Game 2's tomorrow night. We'll also catch up with our buddy Chris Gordy of Locked On SEC Super Regional Weekend. It's got a lot of SEC flavor, so that's what's going to be on deck for tomorrow's show. But until then, be safe out there. Be kind to one another. The Lowdown with D-Lo is next.
Are you looking for an eye expert? Well, visit Acadiana Optics in Broussard, locally owned, founded, and operated by Broussard native Dr. Lindsay Dugas. From comprehensive eye exams for glasses and contacts to diabetic exams, pediatric eye care, emergency eye care, cataract and LASIK evaluations, Acadiana Optics provides family eye care for all vision needs. Enjoy state-of-the-art technology, designer frame selections, prescription Maui Jim sunglasses, and